Hey friends, I'm Tina. Welcome to Dirt Road Believer. My family and I are out at our community garden today, watering the garden. This is just one of the ways that we've kind of come together as a neighborhood to help each other and to provide some groceries for us come harvest season. So today we're talking about your finances. And last week we focused on little by little, and then our other devotional was small beginnings. So today we're going to kind of apply the little by little approach to your finances. The other day I woke up my son and I went in his room and I'm singing to the top of my voice, and he goes, "Mom, please, you're giving me PTSD back to my school days." So every time you get in a new bill or something comes due, you may be feeling the PTSD back to when the economy was normal. And you are in one of three categories. You have either had a sudden loss of income and you're kind of scrambling, wondering what to do, or you're bracing for what's about to come, maybe some furloughs in the near future, or everything has stayed completely the same. Some people, because of this, their business has actually increased. So I have a story here today that I'm going to share with you from 2 Kings, and really, if you're any one of those categories, you can find yourself in this story. This is the story of the widow's oil. And it says, "The wife of a man from the company of prophets cried out to Elisha, 'Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that he revered the Lord. But now his creditor is coming to take my 2 boys as his slaves.' Elisha replied to her, 'How can I help you? Tell me, what do you have in your house?' 'Your servant has nothing there at all,' she said, 'except a little oil.' So Elisha told her to go around and ask all of her neighbors, as many as she could, for the empty jars. 'Don't ask for just a few,' he said. 'Then go inside and shut the door behind you and your sons.'" Now Thursday we're going to kind of finish out that story and tell you how it ends. But I just want to kind of start with the first part of that story and see, who are you in that story? Maybe you are the person who has had a very sudden change in income like the widow did. Only the widow let her resources dwindle little by little before she ever went to help. It says that when she went to Elisha, she had nothing in her house. Now we know that when her husband died, they had something in the house, but she didn't even have a crumb, which means that she had an issue with pride, and she didn't want to reach out to anybody right away. And then if you're in the second category, where maybe you're bracing for change or you've experienced a little bit of change, that's Elisha in the story. Elisha, he had lost one of his servants, one of his helpers in his ministry, so things were changing there, and he was going to have to adapt to that. But little by little, he waited on the widow. He didn't go barge in and tell her what to do, but as soon as she came to him, little by little he gave the instruction that was needed. And then there are her neighbors. Her neighbors, I'm sure, felt sorry for her situation. Like, you know, many of your neighbors probably want to reach out to you. Maybe they feel really bad about your economic situation right now, but nothing had changed for them. They were still making the same income and had plenty. But little by little, she was obedient, and she went to each neighbor, and little by little, each neighbor contributed to her needs. Proverbs 13:11 says, "He who gathers little by little makes it grow." So, you know, I think it's futile thinking to think we're going to get the winning lottery ticket, or next month the economy is just going to pick back up, everything's going to be great. I think prayerfully we have to get a plan for what we're going to do. So if you're in the widow's position, maybe you're even a single mom like she was, don't wait, okay? Reach out to those around you. God cares about your finances so much that He has given you a wonderful support system, and sometimes we have to be obedient, and we have to reach out to the people around us. They may be very willing to help us and to do something for us, but unless we reach out, we don't know. If you're bracing for a change in your finances, save, save, save. Help, help, help. There are things that you can do other than giving of your money that can help the people around you. I'm a teacher, so I could volunteer to help my neighbor's kids. I have a neighbor that's a teacher. She's part of our community garden, and she has said, hey, anytime your son needs help with math, send him on over, or we can get online together. If you are, maybe you can provide a babysitting service for a neighbor. Perhaps you work in a bank, or you have experience with finances, and you can help someone develop a budget and come up with a good plan for how they are going to make it. If you've stayed the same, give, give, give. You can give food, resources, you can make phone calls, you can hire people for your business. Be creative. You might even know of someone who in your church or in your neighborhood that can't even give their child a birthday party. You might want to do something like that. So be creative in your giving. It is so appreciated. God does care about your finances so much. He cares about the health and the wealth and the future of your family. He is not going to leave you stranded. He will give you ways to be obedient in Him. And just to leave you with 3 tips for ways to save, ways to kind of navigate this new financial situation you find yourself in. Number 1, be open with your family. Talk to your children. We have sat our children down and had small conversations along the way about, you know, things are changing, and the things that we used to do, we may not be able to do, or, you know, the things that we used to buy, we may not be buying. And they understand when those things don't go into the buggy. Number 2, here's a tip. Switch brands. I think a lot of Americans are doing that now. I looked the other day, and a washing detergent, one cost $20, and then another brand, same size, same amount of loads, $7. So that's kind of a no-brainer. Switch your brands. As you are replacing things like hair products, makeup, skincare items, dial it down, okay? And if you want to know some good advice on what to buy, ask a teenage girl, because they know better than us. They look better than us. And then cancel any memberships. If you have like the $15 a month membership out there, $9, whatever, cancel it. Cancel it. I'm so glad you joined me today, and I hope you got some good wisdom from our scripture today regarding your finances. Thursday, we're going to visit finances again from the approach of today was little by little. Thursday, we'll look at it from the standpoint of small beginnings, because some of us are kind of starting over. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, if this message reached you in some way, or it made you think of a friend that could use this devotional today, please share it and please subscribe. Thanks so much. Have a good day.